In the turbulent Horn of Africa, the United States faces a strategic choice: back the established power of Ethiopia or recognize the democratic aspirations of Somaliland. Ethiopia, a regional heavyweight, has long been Washington's partner of choice, thanks to its size, military strength, and influence. Meanwhile, Somaliland, despite its stability and democratic progress, remains unrecognized by the US and most of the world. This isn't just about diplomacy, it's about hard interests. Ethiopia offers scale, security cooperation, and a counterweight to rivals like China and Russia. Somaliland, for all its achievements, can't match Ethiopia's strategic value. For the US, the calculus is clear. Prioritize a known partner that anchors regional stability. Recognizing Somaliland risks alienating Ethiopia and destabilizing the region. In the end, American policy in the Horn is a story of realism, choosing power and stability over ideals. The US-Ethiopia relationship is built on decades of strategic partnership, dating back to the Cold War. Ethiopia was a key American ally against Soviet influence, and that legacy still shapes US policy today. After 9/11, Ethiopia became a frontline partner in the war on terror, especially against al-Shabaab in Somalia. The US has invested heavily in Ethiopia's military, valuing its intelligence and regional reach. With over 120 million people and the African Union's headquarters in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia is a diplomatic and economic anchor. Even during internal conflicts, Washington has chosen engagement over isolation, believing a stable Ethiopia is vital for regional order. The US sees more risk in a fractured Ethiopia than in working with a flawed government. This pragmatic approach keeps Ethiopia at the center of American strategy in the Horn. For Washington, no other country in the region offers the same scale or influence. Ethiopia remains the indispensable partner. Somaliland stands out as a rare success in a troubled region, peaceful, self-governing, and democratic since 1991. It has its own government, currency, and military, and has held credible elections. Somaliland's leaders argue that recognition would reward democracy and boost regional security. But the US defers to the African Union's stance on borders, wary of encouraging secession elsewhere. Recognizing Somaliland could destabilize Somalia and alienate key partners, especially Ethiopia. For US policymakers, the risks of recognition outweigh the benefits. Somaliland's achievements remain largely unacknowledged on the world stage. Ethiopia's booming economy is a magnet for US trade and investment. With a vast population and rapid growth, it's a market American businesses can't ignore. The US supports Ethiopia through trade initiatives and sees economic ties as a pillar of the relationship. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is central to Ethiopia's development, and a flashpoint with Egypt and Sudan. Washington's influence in Addis Ababa is crucial for mediating these disputes and preventing wider conflict. In contrast, Somaliland's small, informal economy offers limited opportunities for US investors. Its lack of recognition blocks access to global finance, stunting its growth. Meanwhile, China's investments in Ethiopia raise the stakes for US engagement. For Washington, losing ground in Ethiopia would mean ceding influence to Beijing. The economic and geopolitical incentives all point to Ethiopia. Counterterrorism is at the heart of US interests in the Horn, and Ethiopia is the key partner. Ethiopian forces are central to regional security operations, especially against al-Shabaab. The US relies on Ethiopia's military strength and intelligence networks to contain extremism. Weakening this partnership by, for example, recognizing Somaliland, could jeopardize years of security cooperation. Somaliland is stable internally, but lacks the capacity to project power or influence regional security. The US values Somaliland's achievements but needs Ethiopia's scale and reach. Security realities drive Washington's choices. Ethiopia's role as a regional security provider is irreplaceable. The Horn's coastline, especially the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, is vital for global trade. Ethiopia, though landlocked, seeks secure sea access, a top priority for its government. Its recent deal with Somaliland for port access has regional implications. The US prefers to manage Ethiopia's maritime ambitions through engagement, avoiding conflict. Somaliland's Berbera port is strategically valuable, but Washington works with it informally, stopping short of recognition. The US aims to balance interests, keeping both Addis Ababa and Mogadishu on side. With China, Russia, and others vying for influence, the US needs strong regional partners. Ethiopia's heft makes it the anchor of American strategy. Somaliland's coast matters, but Ethiopia's partnership matters more. The U.S. choice to prioritize Ethiopia over Somaliland is rooted in hard-headed realism. Ethiopia's size, military, and diplomatic weight make it the essential partner in the Horn. Somaliland's democratic success is admirable, but not enough to override strategic concerns. The U.S. avoids challenging the African Union's stance on borders, wary of sparking new conflicts. De facto engagement with Somaliland allows Washington to benefit from its stability without the risks of recognition. For now, the road to Washington runs through Addis Ababa. In the Horn of Africa, power and pragmatism trump ideals.